Close your eyes for a second. It's 8:40 p.m. on a Saturday. You're standing in line at a Chick-fil-A on Route 22 in Union Township, New Jersey. You smell the waffle fries and the grease from the deep fryers. You hear the beeping of the cash registers, a toddler laughing 2 tables over, and the hiss of the lemonade dispenser. Now imagine that sound replaced by gunfire. Not 1 pop, not 2. Witnesses later told police they heard at least 7 shots ring out in rapid succession. On April 11, 2026, the United States recorded its 100th mass shooting of the year. But statistics don't bleed. People do. This is the story of what happened inside that restaurant. It was a normal rush. Families packed the booths. Teenagers worked the registers. Outside, the parking lot was full. Alex Lopez was sitting in his car waiting for his wife, who was working the shift inside. At exactly 8:40 p.m., his phone rang. It was her, but she wasn't talking. She was screaming. She thought the deep fryers were exploding. That was her first instinct. In a kitchen, loud bangs usually mean a gas line or a pressure valve. But then, she saw the flash. She saw the men, the masks. According to the Union County Prosecutor's office, a group of masked individuals didn't just walk in. They stormed the building. They moved with purpose. They bypassed the customers waiting to order. They walked straight past the crying toddler. They went behind the counter. That is the detail that changes everything. This wasn't a robbery where someone got jumpy. This was planned. They knew the layout. They knew where the employees would be trapped. Let me paint you a picture of the physical space. The Chick-fil-A on Route 22 is a busy thoroughfare. It has a front dining area, a long counter, and a back kitchen with limited exits. When the masked men hopped the counter, they created a kill box.
Get under here, quick,
One
stay down!
employee's father, who rushed to the scene after getting a terrified
Just
call
stay
from
still.
his son, described the interior as a war zone. Glass shattered. Not just windows, but the sneeze guards on the salad bar, the display cases, the soda machines. Tables were flipped over by customers trying to create makeshift barricades. Witnesses said the shooters aimed specifically at certain people. They walked past some cowering employees to get to others. Think about that for a second. You are on the floor, hands over your head, praying. You see boots walk past your face. You hear them stop 3 feet away. You hear the click of a safety, and then the shots. The 911 calls that have surfaced are haunting. A dispatcher, trying to keep their cool, radioed in the injuries. 1 unconscious witness. 1 shot in the face. At least 2 shot in the leg. 1 person didn't make it. They were pronounced dead on the scene. The first fatality of the 100th mass shooting. 6 others were hit. But by some miracle, police later confirmed the injuries were non-life-threatening. Legs, arms, faces, survivors who will carry the memory of that tile floor for the rest of their lives. Amid the chaos, survival instincts kicked in. Remember Alex Lopez's wife? She didn't freeze. She didn't wait for the police to arrive. She ran toward the danger to get out. She sprinted through the kitchen, past the burning fryers, and escaped through the back door. She made it to the parking lot, ran until her lungs burned, and then collapsed. She fainted from the shock, but she was alive. Others weren't so lucky in their escape. Dashcam footage obtained by local news shows the parking lot turning into a stampede. You see a man, later identified by police as a suspect, running through the lot, holding a handgun. He's wearing a mask. He's not limping. He's not looking back like he's scared. He looks like he's jogging. Behind him, civilians are scrambling in every direction. One man, a Lyft driver who had just dropped off a passenger nearby, told ABC News he heard the shots very close. He was going to buy 2 burgers. Then he saw the police. The shooter vanished into the night. Let's step out of the parking lot for a second and look at the calendar. April 11th, 2026, day 101 of the year. According to the Gun Violence Archive, this wasn't just a shooting. It was the 100th mass shooting event in the United States in 2026. That means nearly 1 mass shooting per day. The term mass shooting is defined by the GVA as 4 or more people shot or killed, excluding the shooter. Here, we have 7 victims, 1 dead, 6 wounded. It fits the definition perfectly, but the statistic that should chill your bones is this. Most of the previous 99 shootings didn't make national news. They happened at house parties, at gas stations, at street corners. But this one happened where you take your kids for a chicken sandwich. This is the new normal. And the people who did this are still out there. So, where is the manhunt? As of today, no arrests have been made. The Union County Prosecutor's Office is holding their cards close to their chest. They have released almost nothing. No sketches, no descriptions of the vehicles, no names, but they have said 2 critical things. First, this does not appear to be a random act of violence. Second, there is no immediate threat to the general public. How can they say there is no threat if the shooters are still holding guns and wearing masks because they believe this was targeted? The shooters had a hit list. They walked past the customers. They went behind the counter. They shot specific people. If you were sitting in the dining room eating a sandwich, you were likely not the target. But if you were working that shift, if you were the manager, if you knew something, you are still a target. The U.S. Attorney's Office has already stepped in, stating there is no evidence of terrorist ideology at this stage, but gang violence, retaliation, a settling of scores in a public square, that is very much on the table. Let's look at the evidence police do have.
Echo 3-1, expedite to the scene. I am showing heavy traffic on the eastbound lanes. The fire chief needs an update on the structural integrity now.
People running, and at least 1 suspect fleeing with a weapon. They have the 911 audio, the dispatcher calling out the shot in the face. They have witnesses, dozens of them, employees hiding in the walk-in freezer, customers diving under tables, and they have a $10,000 reward. Union County Crime Stoppers is offering cash for information leading to an arrest and conviction. That money tells you something. The police are stuck. They need someone inside the circle to talk. The father of one of the injured employees told the Daily Mail that his son said the masked men took over the restaurant. That implies control. That implies intimidation. This wasn't a spray-and-pray shooting. This was disciplined. We are going to close with a question. On April 11th, 2026, Union Township Mayor Patricia Guerra-Frazier said the community was heartbroken and shaken. But here is the reality. If this was a targeted hit, someone in Union Township knows why it happened. Someone knows the name of the person who was killed. Someone knows why 6 others were hit. And that someone might be watching this video right now. If you know something, even if you think it's small, call the tip line. Because if the police don't find these masked men, the next restaurant they walk into might be yours. The shooters are still at large. No sketches, no arrests. Just a trail of blood on a fast food floor. We will update this story the second the masks come off. Subscribe, hit the bell, and stay safe out there. What do you think? Targeted attack or something else? Comment below.